Hi! Subscribe now and you'll avoid urinary infection for the next 3 weeks. Guaranteed. Games. What a goddamn waste of time. But I got time to waste, so I bought 7 new games. For 3 different consoles. Now you're wondering, he always buys Nintendo Switch games, he also buys PlayStation 5 games, so what's the third console gonna be? Xbox? So what's the third console gonna be? Evercade. That's right, I'm broke, so I'm buying cheap compilations. No, I actually do love my Evercade, and I haven't... Ever since I made that collection video, Evercade collection video, I bought the Duke Nukem, the home console thing, but after that, I bought no games for that. So, yeah, I figured might be a good time to bolster that collection also, so, you know, me being broke and all, my cat not peeing and my car making funny noises. I bought 2 Evercade compilation cartridges. Anyway, let's get this show on the road and I'll start showing my games, because that's what we're here for. It's been a long time since I made my last gaming pickups. When was it, like December or something? I've been buying more movies. By the way, after this there's probably gonna be movie pickups. It's gonna be a pile again. I figured I'd start with PlayStation 5, like, I don't know, usually I start from that or Nintendo Switch, because those are the only 2 consoles I have games for. I'm starting with PlayStation 5, and the first game I have for that is, I actually reviewed this Dynasty Warriors Origins. And if you want to know more about my thoughts about this game, go watch the review. It's a pretty good review. Pretty great game. Love it. Dynasty Warriors Origins. You go around, you mass murder hundreds of thousands of people. Possibly even millions if you play this through multiple times. Or one playthrough if you're just some kind of psycho. But I also have another game for PlayStation 5, and it is the hottest new samurai game out there for the console. Did I go Ubisoft? No, I'm a year late. I went with Rise of the Ronin, and yeah, I am actually really digging this. This is great. I wouldn't say this is Ghost of Tsushima, but it's really goddamn great. You go around Japan. There's actually a pretty big map. Actually, there's 2 pretty big maps. I'm fairly certain there isn't any more. I got the second map, and at the end of the first map, I was like, I've done so many. I've done all the side stuff. I've collected all the cats and all that collectible shit you can do in this game, and yeah, I was pretty sure that the story's probably gonna be over soon, but turns out there wasn't really that many story missions in the first map. I just wasted so much time doing extra stuff, because I don't know, this game kind of got me more into collecting mood. Yeah, I'm really digging it. It's not like overly blown like some samurai games out there. Not talking about Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, this one actually has kind of decent amount of collectible stuff, you know. They don't go overboard with it, which would be stupid, really stupid. Anyway, it's Japan, 1863. Well, it says back here, but it actually started like 1860, 50, 52, something like that, I don't know. There's 2 main guys at first, and well, I don't want to spoil the story, but let's just say you spent the game searching for the other one throughout the whole game. You can actually design both characters. There's a create a character mode, so yeah, you can do your own character, so that's great. You can actually create both of the characters, so yeah, I did too. But you don't get to play as the other. You spend time searching for him, or her, whichever you make. But yeah, actually I am really digging the story, I'm really digging the characters in this too. I started this, I have the English dubs or English voiceover. I don't actually know if this one has Japanese voiceovers. You'd think this would have. The problem is though, the place where you can switch the voice acting, you'd have to stop the game and start it again, and I'm a lazy bastard, so I was like, screw it, I'll try English for a change, and it's surprisingly good. I'm actually really digging it, and yeah, the characters, I do really like the characters. I feel like a lot of the characters are actually really good written in this, and they're interesting. There are some Akira Kurosawa influences seen in some of the characters. My favorite character, which is kind of optional. You could miss him if you decide to kill him. It's this bandit who's kind of... I love his character. He really reminds me of some of those bit comical samurai characters that you might have seen in old samurai movies, or even newer ones, I guess, if they're from Japan. Hollywood doesn't know shit about making samurai movies. You gotta go watch Asian samurai movies, Japanese samurai movies if you want to see real samurai movies. No Tom Cruise there. But yeah, if you compare this to Ghost of Tsushima, I'd say this one actually has somewhat more interesting characters overall. Yeah, I'm digging the characters and the fighting, the basic fighting. In Ghost of Tsushima, I prefer the stealth. And the fighting's great too. This one, the fighting's actually, it's a bit challenging. When I started this game, first few fights, I was getting my ass whooped. So I was kind of like, is this one of those Souls-like games? Ah man, I was like, I'm gonna give it a couple more tries and then I'm over. I'm quitting if this is like Souls-like games and couple hours, I got my ass handed to me. I still, if I, don't pay attention, I do get that. I play on normal difficulty. I usually, I'm not a Souls gamer, so yeah, I play my games on normal difficulty. So it really requires attention when you're doing the battling, because it relies somewhat on counter-attacks. You have to, defend and counter-attack. And the countering can be, it's a really small window you get to do that. There's tons of different weapons and there's also a few different fighting styles for each weapon, so that's really cool. Some work better as counters, some work better as if you're just assaulting head on, and different combat styles work better against different weapons. I mostly use just the basic katana sword. I know I'm boring, but man, I like it. It works. It has a couple of different fighting styles. There's one that works well against another katana guy, and there's one that works great against heavy weapons and blah blah blah. And it's really technical, the fighting in this. I really dig that. It's so great, and it's not overly difficult. There is hard difficulty also if you want more challenge, but so far I'm fine with normal. I'm good. There's also easy if you're afraid of the normal difficulty, but I'm good with normal so far. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna move on. I don't want to rant too much, but yeah, I'm really digging this game. This is really awesome. It's not Ghost of Tsushima, but close. And in some departments, this actually beats Ghost of Tsushima's ass, in my opinion. The fighting and the characters. I like the characters more. The overall story is really intriguing too. Ghost of Tsushima, it's more kind of personal in that sense that there are invaders and you're looking for revenge and all that. I think it tells the story better, but in this one the characters just are more my style. They're more gray. There's no good and evil. Ghost of Tsushima, it was pretty much invaders bad, your guys good, and blah blah blah. But this one, there's a lot of choices too, you get to make during that story mode, so a lot of replayability if you want to take different choices, and apparently something like that. But yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Next I have 3 Nintendo Switch games. I'm saving the Evercade for last, because that's probably not everyone's cup of tea, so maybe they'll watch this and then end. Anyway, first game for Nintendo Switch I have is Blue Shadow Remaster. Or Shadow of the Ninja in North America, I don't know. It would have been cool if they would have released this here in Europe as Blue Shadow Reborn, and not Shadow of the Ninja, which it was named in North America. But yeah, old NES classic. You got 2 different ninjas. You can choose which one you want to play as. And this one actually has a 2-player mode. I think the NES game also had 2-player mode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And it's basic 2D side-scrolling platform hack and slash. You go around and you kill enemies, and there's boss fights, which can be kind of tricky. It's not apparently the longest game, but yeah, I got a bit stuck at one boss. I gave it a few. I need to go back and give it a better go. But for now, I haven't finished this. I beat like 3 or 4 first levels. I'm not sure how many levels this has, but if it's anything like the NES game, it doesn't really have that many levels. I never beat the NES game though either, but NES games aren't the longest games, so I'm taking an educated case. But yeah, really actually digging this. There's actually a picture of the NES version there also, if you're interested what it looked like. I have the original game there on my shelf also, with box and instruction manuals and all that. It's pretty cool. And hard to come by these days, so Shadow of the Ninja. I really dig this. If you like, those old... if you like, I was gonna say Shadow Warrior for NES, but that's Ninja Gaiden, probably best known in North America and probably everywhere. Europe was the only place it was called Shadow Warrior, and I think, did they release Shadow Warrior 2 and 3 or Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 here for NES. I don't actually even remember. Because I only played the first one. I played the second one on emulator. Yeah, that's how I played it. So if you like that kind of action, this is easier than those, but yeah, if you like that kind of action, try it out. This is great. I actually wanted the collector's edition for this, but tight budget, you know, cat not pissing and car making funny noises, so yeah. What are you gonna do? Next game I have on Nintendo Switch, I've been eyeing this for the longest time, but this is a really hard subject for me, so that's why I avoided this game. I really liked, I think it was for GameCube, there was a game in the same series too, and man, that was good, but yeah, ever since the accident and my uncle died, it's been really hard to get back into these games. It was a tennis accident. It's Mario Tennis Aces. Yeah, like I said, there was an accident and my uncle died. He was a real big tennis fanatic, so he had a tennis accident, tennis-related accident. Yeah, he got himself one of those big flat-screen TVs, put on some tennis and... Seriously, I've been trying to write to TV companies not to show those wide shots, you know. But anyway, Mario Tennis Aces. This is a pretty goddamn great game. If you want to play this multiplayer. I haven't played multiplayer yet, but I can already see that it's going to be fun when you're playing with friends. I'm just waiting for the next drinking night at my house so we can play some tennis with friends. But I also did play the single player game in this, which is an adventure mode where you have to find these 5 things. I don't even remember what the hell they were. The story is not really that intriguing. It's just an excuse to go around the world and play tennis in weird tennis courts. There can be all kinds of objects that are blocking there, or just other kind of quirky things there. There's even boss fights where you have to hit the tennis ball in certain spots, and I do dig that. But yeah, they kind of spruced up the regular old boring tennis, which is great, because regular tennis is kind of boring, in my opinion. I'm not a huge tennis guy, and I'm still alive, aren't I? And I don't really... playing tennis yourself, I've given it like a couple of tries. It was just like own fun, not in some tennis club or anything like that. But, you know, friend had a tennis racket and ball and, you know, doing that, and surprisingly hard. But still, watching it, it's, I don't know, not my thing. But in virtual form, I've actually always liked tennis games. Ever since from the NES days. I played one of the NES tennis games a lot back in the days and loved it. But I think Mario Tennis actually, it made it even more fun because they added all these kind of super moves, you know, you can do, hit the ball really hard and it'll burst in flames and all that kind of stuff. And all those kind of obstacles and all that. There's different types of stuff that keep it more interesting. So yeah, I'm really digging this. This is a fun tennis game. It's a fun tennis game. Actually, the reason I bought this was because I found this on sale. Yeah, and this was used. It was... I think I paid like 20 euros or something. Yeah, I didn't pay much, so definitely worth that. But yeah, I think if you're looking for this new, it's still gonna be like that, 50 bucks. Because goddamn Nintendo Switch games, the prices, they ain't coming down. And Switch 2 is just raising up the prices, so it's not really helping. Mario Tennis Aces, if you know Mario Tennis game, if you know Mario sports games, you can kind of already visualize what you're gonna get. And you're probably gonna get that, and probably a little bit more of some of that wacky sports stuff that Mario does to sports games. Mario perverts sports into his own image, and it's fun. I like it. Now then, I too have those 2 Evercade cards also. So yeah, I'm just gonna show both here right away. I got both of these for the kind of main game they're advertising in these cards. And well, the first one is Gremlin Collection 1. If you don't know Gremlin, it was an old school game developer which made old school games, which were great. And the other one I have is the Bitmap Brothers Collection 2, which made old school games. It was an old school game developer. The games were great. Oh, the reason why this is blue is because these dark red ones are kind of the regular Evercade cards. The blue ones are mostly like PC games or computer games or something like that, like Commodore 64 and Amiga here and stuff like that. I do believe it works like that. Then I believe there's also arcade cartridges too. I don't have any of those, so yeah, I think there's 3 different colors these days. Might be 4, I don't know. I haven't really followed that great, but I want to get more into collecting. I'm not going to collect everything. I'm just going to collect those that have games that I'm interested in. And talk about games that I'm interested in. Well, let's start with the Gremlin collection. The main game here is Zool. This one also has Actua Soccer, Utopia, the creation of a nation, Premier Manager 97, which is a football manager, soccer manager for all you dickheads out there, Hardcore 4x4, and Brain Bender. Now the game I bought this for was obviously Zool. He's there in the middle, you know, he's the main guy. I remembered Zool. Now I think it was on Twitter, or X these days. There was Stewie who shared a picture of Zool. I think I gave him a comment there, said, you know, Zool's great, you know, Stewie, you should really play that, because Zool's great. I had like this vague memory, and I have something in my eye. But anyway, this vague memory that Zool was a fun game. It was shit. It was shit. Yeah, I think I got that mixed up with something like Cool Spot. So Stewie, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I said it was good. It just fucking sucked. Yeah, it's side-scrolling platformer where you go as this ninja from the nth dimension. Yeah, that's how it went. It's one of those sponsored games. It's from that company that makes those lollipops, Chupa Chups, I think they were. You can see those in the background while they're playing the game. I wasn't really interested. Cool Spot was also kind of sponsored game. That was for 7-Up, I believe. That one was fun. That I remember, but I think I got this kind of mixed up or something. But Zool just fucking sucks. It's your character's there. You start moving, there's no acceleration or deceleration of any kind. You know, you press left and you release the button. That's how it moves. Just, there's no acceleration, no deceleration. It's just, that is so goddamn annoying. And it's pretty fast paced. You can't see past the screen, you know, you can't see what I'm fingering here. There's just no rhyme or reason. You kind of have to learn the levels from memory. And I don't think even that helps. It's just, because you might be jumping, it could be all blue background, you know, it could be all sky there, and you're jumping forward and you fall where you fall. Sonic games are fast paced, but they have that momentum which keeps it, and also they have this thing called, what is it? Level design, yeah, where the levels are designed for a person who moves fast, so you don't fuck up that, you know, sometimes you do, but not as easily because they make sense. Logic there in the level development style. Sonic is great, but Zool sucks ass. I'm just gonna move on because this one has 5 other games. Actua Soccer, I gave it a try, got my ass whooped. I remember playing that as a kid. It was a good soccer game. It still was kind of fun, but I didn't score even 1 goal. I played 2 games. I got my ass whooped. Fuck. Premier Manager 97, a football manager game. I just... hello? Oh, I built this kind of shelf so my cats can get up there on the shelf, but I'm pretty handy like that. Well, he just left the fuck off. Didn't really want to. Premier Manager 97. Yeah, that one. I played some football manager game back in the 90s, late 90s, a lot. I haven't tried the Premier Manager here, but loved it. I played it so goddamn much. I loved all those manager games. I still would love to give some type of manager games a try, but these days I feel like I might have kind of dropped out of the, you know, how they've evolved and stuff. So it could be hard for me to get back into those. I'm a simple guy. I like simple things, you know, like flashing lights and bright colors and beer. Hardcore 4x4, which is a racing game where you play as these 4x4 pickup trucks, whatever, jeeps, monster trucks, whatever. I guess they're pickup trucks. That one I believe is a PlayStation 1 game. It had the graphics like PlayStation 1 game. It was alright, you know, the controlling was very PlayStation 1-ish type-ish, where turning is really like wonky, but still, I enjoyed it. I played a couple of races. Brain Bender, that's a game where you need brains. It doesn't have any boobs, unlike Nintendo Switch puzzle games, block knockers and pretty little things. But it was still alright. I think, I don't know where that was released actually first. It doesn't say here, but it was a puzzle game. It is probably some kind of computer game, or it could be like Game Boy game. It's got like 2 colors, and there are these mirrors you have to rotate in the right angle, and then the laser should go wherever it's supposed to go, and nothing too revolutionary, bit stiff for these days, but it was alright for one game. And lastly there's Utopia, the creation of a nation, and that one was... wait, I love that these have manuals. That's so awesome. Yeah, I played Utopia. I played it actually for like, I don't know, I might have played it for an hour, maybe close to 2 hours. I actually kind of got hooked. It was kind of fun, old school building game. I think that was on an alien planet or something. Hard to tell by the old graphics, but yeah, you were just building a nation, kind of like SimCity, but on another planet and kind of weirder stuff. And you have to manage your colony, all that kind of. Really dug that. But mouse would be cool. You know, if Evercade people are watching this, mouse would be really cool peripheral for the Evercade. And we're getting Nintendo Switch 2 now with mouse. So, you want to keep it real, you know? Give us that really old mouse with the ball there. Those were great, you know. Every like 2 hours, the mouse would start getting stuck and you'd have to open it and clean the ball from cat hair. If you don't have cat, you could play like 5 hours. No, actually, those were pretty awesome. You didn't have to clean those that often. I remember we had a ball mouse and maybe like once a year, twice a year, something like that. People are always exaggerating. It was great for the time. But yeah, give us that. But overall, I'd say I paid a little over $20 for this, and Zoo was a fucking disappointment. It sucked. But Actua Soccer, kind of fun. Hardcore 4x4, that was alright. Premier Manager 97 didn't play that, but I'm interested. And Utopia was actually the funnest game I played on this. Brainbender, never gonna play that again, but it was a fun try. Utopia, that was for me the seller in this. So yeah. Then we get to the Bitmap Brothers collection too, and this one doesn't say the name of the games behind here, which is stupid. I mean, it actually says just 3 games behind there. Well, there is Cadaver, which is an isometric 3D arcade adventure where you're a dwarf and you have to navigate your way around dungeons and try to survive and kill enemies and blah 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 blah. Then there's also Cadaver, the Payoff, which is apparently some kind of... it's an expansion for Cadaver. Great. Then there's Gods, which I didn't play. Platformer, so it looks cool. Looks kind of like those 16-bit kind of... When I'm looking at the picture, I'm thinking of maybe Altered Beast for Sega Mega Drive / Genesis. Something like that. I don't know. I didn't try that one out. Then there's Magic Pocket, which is also platformer, and that one looks more like something like Kid Chameleon or something for Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive. Didn't try that one either. Those were the 2 games I didn't try from this collection yet, so it looks cool. It really does, so I might give that one a try, and Gods too. Then there was Chaos Engine 2. I'm a huge fan of Chaos Engine, the first one. I actually made a video about that back when I did retro games more on this channel. So I really wanted to see Chaos Engine 2. That was the big seller on the cover here, and I'll talk about that in a little while. Then there was also Z, which I remember kind of digging back in the days. Also one of the reasons why I really wanted this collection. We'll talk about that in a moment. But sure, let's start with Cadaver and Cadaver Payoff. You're a dwarf, you're in a dungeon, isometric view, you go around, there's different rooms, there's different enemies, there's different challenges, there's different obstacles, you have to pick up stuff. It's really kind of slow moving. These were those kind of computer games, so I believe there was a virtual keyboard there too, which you could use. Mouse and keyboard support, that would be great for these PC kind of typish games. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Some of these games, the controller work great, but those are Cadaver games, yeah, not that great. It says here most puzzles have multiple solutions and there's no set order in which you need to solve them. I don't think I solved any puzzles. I died a few times. It's one of those games that really needs you need to focus, so you'll get around. It was good. Well, it was interesting. It was oldie, stiffy, interesting. I might give it another try at some point. Then there's Gods, which I didn't try, so I'm not gonna talk about that. Then there's the Magic Pocket, which I didn't try, so I'm not gonna talk about that. Okay, then there was Z, which a strategy game, top down. You know, you have to move your troops, make more troops, and win the enemy. The controller fucking sucks in that game. Again, mouse would be great, and perhaps some kind of smallish keyboard. That would be alright. Yeah, it was, I'd say it was almost unplayable. At least for me. Again, there's no acceleration or deceleration. You just move left, right, up, down, and the screen just starts moving. It's really kind of hard to pinpoint at certain places. I gave it like a 15-20 minutes try. So yeah, in that sense, yeah, I didn't really get into it I didn't get the feel for it. I think, yeah, if I played like an hour or something, I might get a little feel for it, but still, I don't think I'd enjoy it. I got no problem with the game. I remember the game being kind of fun back in the days, but with the controller, yeah, not gonna happen, not my thing. It's just, no. Which is a shame, because I do remember the game having actually kind of fun humor in it and all that. So yeah, it would have been kind of blast to play that again a little more. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna give up. That's my style. I give up. Something's too uncomfortable, weird, hard. I give up. Fuck it. I'll move on to something easier, like flashing lights, bright colors, and beer. But then we get the real reason why I bought that collection. Bitmap Brothers Collection 2, which was Chaos Engine 2. Never played it. Chaos Engine, the first one, one of the best top-down shooter games ever made. I love that game. It's so good. So good. So, they couldn't possibly fuck up the sequel in any goddamn way, could they? No? Yes. They fucked it up. What did they do? First one was story-driven. You went levels, you beat levels, you move forward, I think you could buy shit between the levels. It's been a while since I played that, but yeah, you had different characters, different weapons, and different items and all that kind of, you could buy shit between the levels or something like that. So what did they do in the second one? Well, they kept the characters, they kept the different weapons, they have different items. Liking it so far. They turn it into a 2-player arena shooter. There's enemies, whichever finds the key first and gets the door, wins the level. That's a weird fucking... What the hell? Randy. That's a weird fucking direction to take a masterpiece top-down shooter like that. Why would you do that? The first one was so fucking good. It was so good. I loved it. Come on, Randy. Randy's just climbing all over. Why don't you climb here? People can see that. I built this and it's solid. It can handle your weight, even your fat brother's weight. Randy heard me talking about Chaos Engine 2, even he fucked off. Even cats sense shit. Cats have senses for shit. And Randy was, yeah, I'm not staying here. He's talking about shit. Yeah, this collection was kind of a bit of a disappointment for me. It only cost like $20, little over, so I'm not crying over it. If they just get some kind of mouse support, I'd actually enjoy that. Cadaver seemed interesting, but I'm not sure if I have the tenacity to go back and actually learn it. But Gods and doesn't say all the names here. What was that? Some kind of magic pockets or some, I don't know, pocket pool, whatever. Magic pockets. It was magic pockets. Looked interesting. I'm gonna pop this in my Evercade home arcade console and give those two a try, because I really like platformers. But yeah, Chaos Engine 2, not playing that shit ever again. Not you. Chaos Engine 2, Zool, those were the games they were selling in these collections. Those were the worst games in these collections. Those sucked ass. Yeah, it was the worst game in this collection. Brainbender was more enjoyable. Now I got 2 more Evercade collections. I did say during the Evercade collection video that I'm gonna try to collect at least some more, so now I fulfilled my part. So yeah, weren't the best buys, but there are still a lot of Evercade cartridges that I'm really interested in. So I'm gonna try to buy like 1 or 2 a month, something like that. Slowly build up there. Build up my Evercade collection. Anyway, that was all the games I had. Dynasty Warriors, fucking fantastic. Rise of Ronin, I'm loving it. Not quite as good as Tsushima, but I do believe it's better than any samurai game released this year. So yeah, I'd say give it a try if you're not intimidated by the difficulty. There is the easy mode though, so might help you. Mario Tennis, fun game. Enjoyed it. Probably gonna be a lot more fun when you're playing with friends. The Evercade cartridges, I don't regret buying those, but I could have picked some better ones. But I got those, and I'm stuck with those, and I'm cool with those, man. Fuck off, I'll fuck off, and we'll meet back here when I upload some more crap. And yeah, cats are fucking... really wanted to show the workmanship I did here, This is Ricky, this is the fatter one. See? It holds. How good am I? I bet Canadians can't build stands like this for cats. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let's just fuck off. Yeah, I should probably get you down there. Sorry. Hey, let go, let go! Ah, you